We have looked at the causes that led to the birth of Renaissance or Renaissance. Now let us pause for a minute and look at why was the birthplace Italy. Alright, so Italy was a part of the Roman Empire and it was very, very famous. So as it is, it attracted many artists and different scholars from all around the world. Second is the fall of Constantinople, and many scholars from Constantinople ran and migrated and settled in Italy. There were wealthy merchants who were ready to give patronage. There were crusades and geographical explorations by the Italians that led to the contact between the East and the West, sharing of ideas which broadened their vision, and because of all these elements, Italy turned into the birthplace of Renaissance. Now let us look at what was the impact of Renaissance on art, painting or sculptures. During the Dark Age, let us have a look at what the scene was and then what were the changes during Renaissance. So the painters during Dark Age were only allowed to use limited colors. Obviously, during Renaissance, they were allowed to use a variety of colors. During the Dark Age, what was the main objective of painting or sculpture? It was just to promote religion. And what was the objective of paintings and sculpture during Renaissance? To spread secularism, show human anatomy and expressions. During Dark Age, there was no freedom while painting. The paintings were regulated and they were very, very rigid. But during Renaissance, there was a lot of freedom, flexibility given to the artists when they were painting. The paintings were realistic and they were lifelike. So let us revise once again. I am going to tell you aspects of Dark Age and I want you to tell me what happened during Renaissance. Limited colors, Renaissance, variety of colors. There was no freedom while painting. There was full freedom while painting. Paintings were very, very rigid, regulated. Paintings were realistic and lifelike. During Dark Age, what was the objective? To promote religion. During Renaissance, what was the change? They wanted to show human anatomy, expressions, and spread the secular ideas. Now, let us look at one famous painter under the caption of art. You have Leonardo da Vinci. Let us see what were his contributions. Who was Leonardo da Vinci? Go on to the next slide. So Leonardo da Vinci was not only a painter, but he was also a sculptor, an architect, a philosopher, an engineer, and finally a scientist. He was also into music. So if you see, he was an absolute all-rounder. And he studied nature, mechanics, anatomy, weaponry, physics, and he saw that science and art are complementary rather than different disciplines. He began filling his notebook with different themes. Moving on to the next slide. So human anatomy. So he showed human anatomy in his notebooks. Moving on. There were different themes that he sketched, mechanics, architecture, and like that he had his notebooks filled with thousands of pages of neatly drawn illustrations with his ideas. If we look at his paintings, The Last Supper, Mona Lisa, Virgin of the Rocks, these are famous paintings of Leonardo da Vinci. And why is he such a famous artist? Is because he gave a feeling of reality to the masterpieces that he drew. So if we are looking at a short note on Leonardo da Vinci, what are we saying? He was a great painter, sculptor, musician and a scientist. What else did he study? He studied nature, mechanics, anatomy, physics, architecture, weaponry. And what did he see? Science and art as complementary. That is, they go hand in hand with each other. Name the 3 paintings: Last Supper, Mona Lisa, and Virgin of the Rocks. And why is he such a famous artist? He's such a famous artist because his paintings were realistic, very, very lifelike. So we just need to know these elements when we are looking at a short note on Leonardo da Vinci. We are now moving to impact of Renaissance on literature. During Dark Age, literature was written in Latin, which only a few people could understand. During Renaissance, what was the change? It was written in local languages that people could read, interpret, and understand. If we look at the Dark Age, themes chosen by writers were very, very spiritual. During Renaissance, the themes chosen by writers were very secular. Example, man, his problems, the tensions that he had, the elements that he faced. Alright, so let's quickly recollect. When we are looking at literature, what was the impact of Renaissance on literature? Literature during Dark Age was written in Latin. Repeat after me. Literature was in Latin. And during Renaissance, it was written how? In local languages. So Latin could be understood only by a few people, whereas local languages, all the people could understand. And during the Dark Age, what were the themes chosen by writers? They were very, very spiritual, religious in nature. During Renaissance, how did it change? The themes were secular. Let us look at the famous member of literature, William Shakespeare. Who was William Shakespeare? He was a poet, playwright, actor. He was also called as England's national poet. He wrote a number of comedies, a number of tragedies. And why is his work so significant? Is because it appeals to emotions, to thoughts. And that's why we can strongly connect with his writing. So if we see, he wrote several comedies like Midsummer Night's Dream, Much Ado About Nothing, As You Like It, Twelfth Night. And later he wrote a number of tragedies like Hamlet, Othello, Macbeth. So his work shows a lot of cultural blend, a lot of history, and as I said, it appeals to emotions, thoughts, and therefore it has a lot of universal appeal. So when we are looking at a short note on William Shakespeare, all that we are saying is he was a poet, playwright, actor, and England's national poet. The first point. Second point, we are saying he wrote a number of comedies and tragedies. You can name the tragedies and the comedies. And finally, how are we concluding the answer? By saying that his work appeals to emotions, thoughts, and therefore has a universal appeal. Finally, we are looking at impact of Renaissance on science. In the Dark Age, science was supported by religious scriptures. Renaissance, obviously, completely opposite. It was not supported by religious scriptures. In the Dark Age, there was no questioning, no thinking that was allowed, no challenging the authorities. Whereas during Renaissance, what happened? Science was based on questioning, challenging, experimentation, and observation. Alright? So let's look at this. Dark Age, religious scriptures, and during Renaissance, not supported by religious scriptures. Dark Age, no questioning, no thinking, no challenging. Renaissance, based on, so science was based on what? Questioning, challenging, experimentation, and observation. Now, Nicholas Copernicus, he was a mathematician and astronomer, and he formulated a model of the universe that was very, very different at that point in time. Earlier during the Dark Age, there were people like Ptolemy and Aristotle, who gave a geocentric theory stating that the Earth is the center of the universe and the other planets and the sun move around it. But when Nicholas Copernicus came into the actual Renaissance age, he started questioning, he started thinking. He opposed this geocentric theory and he proposed his own heliocentric theory based on the following elements. Alright, so what was his heliocentric theory based on? He said there is no one center of all celestial circles or spheres. Then he said Earth is not the center of universe but only that of gravity and lunar sphere. Yeah, so he said the moon is moving around the Earth, so it is the center of gravity only for the lunar sphere. Next he said all spheres move around the sun as their midpoint and therefore sun is the center of the universe. And finally he said that the Earth has more than one motion. It turns on its own axis and it moves in a spherical orbit around the sun. Please don't forget, he did not use the term rotation and revolution at that point in time. So be careful, otherwise your key elements in your answer will go wrong. So let's recall and look at key elements. What was the contribution of Nicholas Copernicus when we are looking at Renaissance? He opposed which theory? The geocentric theory. And what did he propose? The heliocentric theory. What did he say? There is no one center of all the celestial circles or spheres. He said Earth is not the center of the universe but only of gravity and that of the lunar sphere. Then what did he say? All spheres move around the sun as their midpoint and therefore the sun is the center of the universe. And finally he said Earth has more than one motion. One is turning on its own axis and the second moving in a spherical orbit around the sun. Later on there were scientists like John Kepler who proved that Earth and other planets moved around the sun not in a circular orbit but elliptical orbits. We have the Italian scientist Galileo who invented the telescope. Sir Isaac Newton discovered the law of gravitation. So apart from Nicholas Copernicus, if I ask you state the names of other scientists and their contributions, whom do we have? John Kepler. He kept what Nicholas had to say, that the Earth and the other planets move around the sun. But what did he change? He said not in a spherical orbit, not in a circle but elliptical orbits. Then we have Galileo. What did he invent? The telescope. And finally, Sir Isaac Newton discovered the law of gravitation. I just want you all to write down the main caption, Impact of Renaissance. Please write down activity keywords recall. Now you can either look at what my student Yash has drawn out here or what Hiya did, and I have shown you the images. So either you can doodle with keywords or keep it simple and just write the main caption and make a keywords web. Alright, so please complete this activity showing the impact of Renaissance. I want all the three aspects, that is art, science and literature, to be shown. Okay. We are looking at the final element, that is the overall impacts, the overall consequences. So it led to another movement, that is the Reformation movement, where people began questioning, challenging the authority of the Pope, the Church. There was development of humanism, scientific outlook took place, there was development of art, and finally it led to a number of geographical discoveries. So if you see, there were quite a lot of good things that happened. Geographical discoveries took place. People did not blindly follow religion. They started questioning, they started challenging. There was scientific outlook, art, sculpture, architecture, literature. All these elements, there were changes that took place. But Renaissance also brought in a little drawback with it. So if we look at the drawbacks, there was something called as extreme nationalism, means each country wanted to prove that they are the best, and in that there was a mad race, a fight that started. All right. There was a lot of colonization that took place because of geographical discoveries. And what started happening? Countries started losing their independence. There was questioning of authorities and unnecessary, things which were not required. So people took it to extremes and went ahead. But the biggest drawback was the element of mad race for arms and armaments, colonization, aggressive nationalism, and the loss of independence amongst the colonies. So with this, we have completed this chapter of Renaissance, where we looked at the causes, we looked at why Italy was the birthplace of Renaissance, we looked at in general the impact of Renaissance on art, literature, science. We looked at specific contributions of William Shakespeare, Leonardo da Vinci, and Nicholas Copernicus. And we close the chapter by looking at the overall impact of, overall consequence of Renaissance. So thank you. Do a self-evaluation of what all you need to document and go ahead. So you have looked at the first element, the introduction, then what changes were brought in from Dark Age to Renaissance. Yeah, so those 5-6 changes. Then you have doodled and documented the causes in general. So you've created like a visual mind map. Then you have looked at the impact of Renaissance and documented the key elements and gone ahead. Alright, thank you very, very much. Bye.